All right, welcome back to another video in my Sovereign Network series. We're making a lot of progress here, so that's exciting. Um, I know I said that this series was coming to an informal conclusion because there was just too much sensitive information that could accidentally get leaked on this series, but I found it's pretty easy to keep that information private. Most of the information really it's going to be behind the firewall. I mean, we set up a firewall, so once you're in, you're in. It doesn't matter. Like if anyone's that motivated to bring you down and mess with your stuff, you're probably dealing with like a friend who's also an IT professional or some really motivated state actor for whatever reason. Like they're gonna get you no matter what you do. Um, uh, so as long as you don't give them, so basically what you can do is slow them down a bit. But even then, especially if they're a state actor, they're going to have a whole list of um, zero-day attacks where there's they got you. Which let me take a brief moment and talk about something called a skiff. A skiff is a skiff in the CIA. It's a sensitive compartmented information facility, so that it's a C. So at least back in the old days, everything had to be conducted within a skiff using all the technology in the skiff, because a motivated state actor is going to be going after the government, and they're going to be using every tool in the book. They're going to be using brand new technology. They're going to be using zero-day things. So a skiff, it's not completely restricted. It's not like you can't do anything. Uh, you can add a temporary skiff. You just have to make it's kind of like a situation room. It's you have to have things be done in private and not on personal phones over Signal. so this is how serious cybersecurity used to be taken by the U.S. government. Every so skiff is limited to individuals with appropriate security clearances, very high ones. Non-cleared personnel and skiffs can go in a skiff, but they have to be under constant oversight. And all classified information and material has to be they have to be quarantined from the classified information and material as well. So you wouldn't just give that over to a reporter from the sorry, I have a cough. A reporter from the Atlantic. That would be that would be very stupid. So, as part of this process, non-cleared personnel are also typically required to surrender all recording, photographic, and other electronic media devices. Yeah, and that's the thing too. You can't use your own phones, and anything you use, you have to give over and leave in the skiff to the security professionals in the skiff. All of the activity and conversation inside is presumed restricted from public disclosure. So if you were following these rules and you actually were doing everything inside a skiff using the equipment that is appropriate to be used inside the skiff, you would never, sorry, I have a cough again, add a reporter from a publication that is clearly biased towards your opposition. All right, so entire buildings can be dedicated skiffs where all but the front foyer, the front office is secure. So you can have skiffs that are set up and permanent and that are very large, that can accommodate a lot of different people in an entire building. You can also have like little micro skiffs that are just on a plane. Air Force One probably is a skiff. I don't know. We should talk about this with ChatGPT. But you can have skiffs on ground or maritime vehicles. So you can have it like in a car. You can have a skiff anywhere, but you have to follow the rules of the skiff if you're in a skiff, and you can't do anything that you would do in a skiff outside of a skiff, or at least it used to be that way. So the physical construction, access control, and alarming of the facility has been defined by various directives. So this is a so here's all the rules of this skiff here. We could go directly to this page, and this is probably the place to go. So um, okay, so okay, so here we got a link to the Wayback Machine, where there used to be. Okay, yeah, so we've got a FOIA request, which is the Freedom of Information Act, which used to be a powerful thing that you could use to get transparency from the government. So I don't think they call it a SCIF. They call it a National Intelligence Electronic Reading Room, or at least they used to. Maybe they changed the name. So these are great because these are authorized. These are unclassified documents provided via a FOIA request, so you can learn a lot more about a SCIF. But I don't want to get. This might be interesting. Construction security. So this is like how to build a SCIF, I think. So intelligence community policy guideline. Yeah. So this might give some. Yeah. Here we go. So here's the process. Oh well, this is just these are obviously very when they're not declassified and delivered through a FOIA request. These would be like top secret because they're telling you how to. All right. Okay, it's just saying like who coordinates. Yeah, who does what in regards to SCIF. I doubt a because I think records requested under FOIA, um, like they don't have to just tell you like you know something you like they can still maintain security. They don't have to just tell you everything. So I don't think we'll get one detailing exactly what it takes to build a skiff. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that briefly because yeah, and you can have a skiff set up anywhere. Bush had one in his ranch in Crawford. Clinton had one at our home, so that's another important thing. This doesn't apply only to the president. Many state officials are only able to operate within a skiff. So Hillary Clinton, when she was Secretary of State, she had a skiff in both of her homes, and then Trump has a skiff in both of his places of residence as well, both at Trump Tower and Mar-a-Lago. So I just wanted to highlight that because that's how serious sensitive information can get. And yeah, no matter what you do, you follow stuff, unless you're a trained 10-year, 20-year cybersecurity professional, if they really want to come after you for whatever reason, they meaning like foreign state actors like the equivalent of the CIA from other countries, they're going to get you. And in fact, let me continue this tangent a little bit. That's why AI is so scary right now because that remains true for private companies like OpenAI. OpenAI, I don't even think they have a security team. Let's take a look. So we're going to say OpenAI. We're going to say roster, and then yeah. Uh, so let's try to, yeah, here we go. So team plus plus. I don't know what this means. Does this mean the team that are people? Yeah, so we have some fantastic people. We're still hiring. So yeah, here's their full timers. Let's do a Control F security. Yeah, there's no one that works in security. There's no one trained in security. Here's a PhD student that works on imitation learning. Here's a researcher in the field of computer networking, which I am following this person on LinkedIn. That sounds awesome. Here's a theoretical science uh, professor. Yeah, there's those are interns. The full timers, math PhD. There's no one listed on here that this is as of 2016. But I don't see a security department. I don't see anyone trained in cybersecurity specifically. So it can be it's kind of a wild world we're in right now. And as we've read uh, from situational awareness by Leopold Aschenbrenner, who used to be a part of. Oh, is this the guy? Yeah, yeah, this is the guy who used to work for OpenAI, and he was on the alignment team. He wasn't on a security team. There is no security team. This stuff is one. Uh, Anyone can like even somebody who's not a competent like CIA equivalent from another country can easily like gain access. Like honestly, like honestly, I gained like I'm not admitting to a cybercrime, but I gained unauthorized access to OpenAI's intellectual property by reading Situational Awareness by Leopold Aschenbrenner because he got fired after that, and the reason they said he got fired was he leaked information. And I think one of the biggest things he leaked was chain of thought reasoning. That was one of their like big proprietary advancements they were going to make to stay above everyone else. And he just started talking about it before it was released, and then like a few months after he was fired, now we've got these O1, O3 reasoning models that use chain of thought reasoning. So he leaked on like I gained access to unauthorized information just by knowing about one of their employees. So like and he wrote a whole document, explaining why uh, security is so important. Like one of the main features of that document was security was important, and he did that while leaking one of their products that they were soon to release, a model that is capable of high level chain of reasoning thought. So yeah, it's a crazy world. It's insecure. The other thing he said in his document, which I recommend, it's very good. I mean, I do think him leaking that is worthy of being fired, and kind of was a bit of an oversight on his part if he was uh, not wanting to get fired. But I, the things he had to say about security were quite interesting. So at some point, it might be a while, but it might be beyond. Yeah, at some point, if not the United States government, global governments are going to really crack down on AI, and AI research might happen in something like a SCIF. So there you have it. That's a huge distraction. Let me get back on task. I'm very good at being distracted. So where we got in the guide was up to calendar and context using Sogo within MailCow. No more saving your contacts and calendar to your Gmail account or iCloud. Keep it all on your same server. So why would you want to do that? Well, for starters, let's go to the Gmail page, Gmail workspace here, and then let's see if we can find a pricing page. So Control F for pricing. Don't see it, so we'll say Gmail pricing. There we go. So Google, there we go. Um, so Google Workspace, um, you get uh, you get a custom domain for. Oh, that's kind of a good deal. How you get a custom domain. Okay, this is like, uh, um, um, here we go. We can see it right here. So all Google accounts include 15, yay, gigabytes of storage, and that includes your Drive, that includes your email, that includes your calendar. So I'm out. Like it took me a bit to run out. Like it's good, it's pretty good, but I'm out of storage. Like I've used more than 80% of my storage, and like it's annoying not to have storage. I have to go back and delete stuff. So you're not going to get a complete archive of all your emails and everything because you don't have enough storage. And in addition to that, Gmail is notorious for having ads that read your emails to try to hyper target themselves to get you to buy, more likely to buy. So it's not secure. They're reading your private emails to try to feed you ads. It's not big enough. They only give you 15 for free, and it's not complete. Once you start running out of space, you've got to go back and delete some of your old emails, and you no longer have this archival record. So this makes a lot of sense. I already set up a virtual machine for my emails that has 4 times or that has 6 times the space. It has 100 gigabytes. So 15 times 30 or 15 times 4 would be 60. Then you've got, yeah, so it's 6.5 times the space that I got before. So good deal. All right, so this guide will walk you through the process of installing and configuring. And then the other thing, yeah, it's on my own server. So I'm not going to have any ads because my server's behind a firewall that won't get broken into. I have, and it's going to be, yeah, and then I don't have to worry about someone else reading my emails because they can't access them anymore. And my emails belong to me. They're not Gmail emails that belong to Google. So if I want to sell a product, um, you know, nobody can make a claim that, oh, well, this isn't your product, this is ours. You exchange information over Gmail, and therefore you put it on you put the product in my house, so you gave it to me as a gift and it's not yours anymore. Nobody can say that because I only gave it, I only produced it locally in my own place of living, and I only gave it directly to my customers who paid for it. So this guide will walk you through the process of installing and configuring MailCow on Ubuntu server. MailCow is an excellent solution for managing email, contacts, and calendars. It simplifies the setup of multiple mail-related services like Dovecot, RSPAMD, Spam Assassin, Postfix, Sogo Web Interface, CalDAV. Making it easier, I will never use the word easy to describe self-managed email. In fact, it's so difficult that there's a typo in the word describe. To maintain a secure working email server with calendar and contact sync, MailCow's ease of use and strong community support make it perfect for self-hosting these services. You will come to appreciate MailCow's simplicity when we set up Postfix manually for free PBX and ZFS file system alerts in later sections. Prerequisites. For self-hosted calendar and contacts, MailCow on your server, DavX to the fifth on your phone, a calendar app that works with DavX such as Fossley Calendar. For self-hosted email, a domain name pointed at your server's IP address that allows you to add TXT records, A records, etc. And SMTP relay provider such as Postmark. More patience than Rachel Cox waiting to leave Wind Cave, or John McCain waiting to be rescued from prison in Vietnam. So I think these are examples of people who have a lot of patience. We'll look into this. So these instructions are going to serve as a base for each of our installations of a virtual machine that uses Ubuntu Server. I will ask you to refer back to these later.
After 2 weeks of exploring the cave. Deep beneath South Dakota's Wind Cave National Park, Rachel Cox thought she heard her instructor laughing from a nearby passage. She and a group of college students had been exploring the cave, but now they had split into teams, racing to find the instructors who were hiding in different parts of the cave. Cox convinced her team that the instructor was close by.
That sounds like a very bad idea to do a hide and go seek inside a dangerous cave exploration.
She and a teammate left their backpacks behind and crawled through a narrow tunnel to investigate. However, when they reached the spot, the instructor wasn't there. Frustrated, her teammate criticized her decision and decided to head back. Cox, also annoyed, paused briefly before getting ready to follow him. That's when her lamp suddenly went out. In the pitch-black silence, Cox cursed herself for not noticing her lamp was low on fuel. Following her training, she decided to stay put and wait for help. But as more time passed, she considered trying to crawl back through the tunnel she had come from. She felt for the opening, squeezed through, and found herself in the wrong passage, even more lost than before. With no pack or working light, Cox was without food, water, or warmth. She knew her biggest danger was hypothermia, so she forced herself to keep moving. She made as much noise as she could, shouting, singing, banging her lamp against the cave walls, and even reciting lines from Shakespeare's As You Like It to stay calm and signal for help. Meanwhile, her fellow students and instructors were searching the area where she had disappeared. Rob McLeod, one of her teammates, said, "We had just spent 2 weeks in that cave, and we knew it pretty well. We didn't understand where she could be." Cox tried to retrace her steps, hoping to find the spot where she got lost. But instead, she ended up going deeper into the cave. As the hours stretched on in the cold darkness, hunger gnawed at Cox's stomach, making her feel weak and delirious. Her throat was parched, and her limbs felt heavy as if they didn't belong to her anymore.
I feel like you could like easier because all you got to do is like look at gravity, right? So you pick up some rocks and drop it, and you can tell whether you're going up or down, and you want to go up, right? I guess you have to. It's like a labyrinth. Sometimes you have to go down to go up. I don't know. I'm not trained as a spelunker.
The lack of food and water twisted her mind, causing her thoughts to race and blur. At times, she wasn't sure if the strange noises around her were real or just her mind playing tricks. She began to hear whispers in the silence, voices from the cave, almost like it was alive, urging her to keep moving, even as exhaustion and starvation pushed her closer to madness. Cold, hungry, and desperate, time lost all meaning. And as her condition worsened, she thought she heard a gentle voice from the cave telling her, "I am the womb of Mother Earth. You are safe. I will birth you." She also saw visions of glowing lights and imagined her relatives praying for her return. As the search dragged on with no sign of Cox, the instructors notified the park rangers. The National Park Service quickly mobilized more cavers, starting with locals and then reaching out to experts from other states. Jim Nepstad, a former Wind Cave specialist, got the call on Monday evening. He flew in from Kentucky and helped coordinate the search. Wind Cave is the easiest cave in the world to get lost in, Nepstad explained. The passages are so dense, it's a three-dimensional maze. After about 30 hours of searching, Nepstad and his team expanded their search to more remote parts of the cave. One of the volunteers finally heard Cox's call for help after hearing rocks fall in the distance. Cox recalled seeing a light approaching, and then a man with a beard asking, "Rachel, are you ready to leave now?" She was so disoriented that she replied, "Are you God?" It took another 2 hours to pull Cox out of the cave. She was weak, dehydrated, and mildly hypothermic, but she had no serious injuries. After a night in the hospital, she was reunited with her father, who had flown in to see her. Later that day, she rejoined her group at their campsite. Though physically fine, Cox was overwhelmed by shame for the mistakes she had made. She couldn't stop thinking about how her actions had triggered such a large search effort, and she worried about the damage that may have been caused to the cave's fragile environment. For many years, Cox believed that being trapped in the cave was the most traumatic thing she would ever face.
And then something else happened? What the hell? Okay, I hope she didn't go in caves again if she was feeling that much shame about it. Um, at the very least, I hope the next tragedy that she faced didn't happen in a cave. But anyway, oh yeah, the John McCain. I mean, I know a little bit about. Wait, what? That's kind of a weird. Oh yeah, what the heck? He talks about John McCain in this. Oh, I see. So it's just like, yeah, it's not talking about either. It's a false link, or like this demonstrates just how annoying it can be to work with these technologies. But we can skip that. Okay, so step one, we're gonna prepare Ubuntu. So you can either work through Virtual Machine Manager, since Virtual Machine Manager provides you a console view of your virtual machine, or SSH in from another computer. Let's try to SSH in from another computer. Let's do, first of all, let's open a new terminal. Let's do SSH, no, I think it is 2.168.1.3. Nope, that's not going to be it. Oh, we have to go into no, it's not. It's yeah. There's no. That's not it. This is something else. Okay, so let's use the virtual manager. What? Oh, it's .5, not .1. I knew that would throw me off at some point. There we go. Now we're SSHing directly into the mail server. Yep. So it says mail server. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So there we go. Now the page is gonna skip around and be difficult to use. That's fine as long as the information is solid, which it is. Okay, so this looks like stuff I've already read. I remember reading about bridging up here, so we're gonna have to scroll down. Sorry. Let me pause it. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, all right, that skipped us up quite a bit. So we're back to where we are now. So first thing we're going to do is update and upgrade your system. So your system is ambiguous there. Um, Remember, we've got two machines running. We only have one virtual machine so far. We're going to have multiple later. But we have the Ubuntu server, which is running on your physical. For me, it's a T5600 I got from a neighbor, and then we've got a virtual machine running inside of that, the mail server. So you're going to do this on the mail server. Alright, it's taking quite a long time. Not sure why it's taking so long. Well, I think this is probably the first time we updated it, so it should take a while to update it if it hasn't been updated in a while. So next we'll do reading while this is going. So 1.2, check the other Docker installations. Run docker dash dash version and see what is installed. Um, Nothing should be installed yet since this is a fresh system. If something is installed, remove it. So if you accidentally installed it via snap, I didn't. You got to remove it via snap because it's not going to work the same way. So we'll see that. 99% looks good. No errors or anything so far. Still at 99%. There we go, 100%. Nothing needs to be restarted. Everything went through. So now we're going to get curl, git, and wget. We're going to install 3 separate packages. So you can install more than one package at a time. You just have to separate each package with a space. And then we'll do this -y switch so that it automatically answers yes to any yes or no prompt. So now we're going to do docker dash dash version and see what we got. So Docker not found, perfect. So nothing should be installed yet since this is a fresh system. So Docker not found is what we're looking for. So you want to check if the snap version of Docker is there, or if any of these versions of Docker are there either. So just the Docker engine. We'll probably be putting just the Docker one back on at some point, but we're going to do that next in 1.3. So if it's there now, you got to remove it and do it according to the guide. So 1.3, install Docker using the official Docker script. So if you already have it on there, it might not have used the official script, so that's really important. All right, and then sudo, we're going to run the script. All right, there we go. So note, it's very important to use the official Docker installation and not the snap version. The snap version can cause issues due to its sandbox nature, making it a mess for Mailcow's requirements. Docker snap makes me sad, and it'll make you sad too if you try to make things work with it. Editor's note, Lewis uses the convenience script provided by Docker here. This method is only recommended for testing and development environments and may not update your dependencies correctly. For installation methods meant for a production environment, see the official Docker manual. All right, well that's a good note. This is just the home lab, but if you were a professional Docker working with Docker professionally as a sysadmin, you'd be having this manual up anyways. So that's not what I'm doing here. This is just a personal home project. So step 1.4, install Docker Compose. So Ubuntu's Docker Compose plugin is safe to use. It's not snap cancer. All right, so step 1.5, verify the installation. Run Docker Compose version and make sure the version is 2.0 or higher. Yep, we've got 2.34. Run Docker -- version. Let's do that next. And make sure the version is 24.0.0 or higher. So we've got 2.8, perfect. So step 1.6, set proper permissions. Docker needs to be run as root for some operations, but you can add your user to the Docker group to avoid using sudo all the time. To be clear, Mailcow's own documentation and community suggest starting with root or sudo, and you should trust them more than me. To quote Mailcow developers, controlling the Docker daemon as non-root user does not give you additional security. The unprivileged user will spawn the containers as root likewise. The behavior of the stack is identical. Run this command to add your user. Okay, log out and log back in, or run this command. I'm going to run this command instead. I don't know, it's so easy to log. Uh, I'll just log out and back in because it's way easier. Okay, so that's all I had to do. So I can see, so I don't have to, this is an OR, so I don't have to do that next. Okay, so next is step 2, install MailCow. Step 2.1, clone the MailCow repository. So I've got 3 commands here. Let's run the first one. Okay. Okay, so step 2.2, set the correct permissions. So run this command here, which is familiar from the LPIC exam. Step 2.3, generate the configuration file. So we're going to run this. All right. When prompted, enter your fully qualified domain name, such as that. I don't know what mine is. Mail servers host name. I'm pretty sure it's mail server dot local. I feel like this could go very wrong though. Oh. Uh, Wait, this can go very, very wrong. Let's check in with the AI. All right, and then we're going to select no here, and it exits, and then we'll do something to yeah. So how do I so how do I verify what my FQDN is? Okay, so hostname dash F, perfect, and it gives alternate commands. So we'll run both of those commands. Uh, oh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to change my. Yeah, let me try to change my FQDN. Looks like I don't have one. Looks like I don't have one. How do I know what makes sense to set it to? Yeah, I have a simple host name. Should reflect your intended use and domain ownership. Your actual domain.com. So home.lab, your domain.local. Is this going to be public or private? Oh, you must own a domain. Uh, yeah, I don't have a domain. Uh, all right, let's try running this again, and then I'll just enter FQDN as I see fit, and maybe it'll set it automatically. Mail server dot podge.com. Okay, so that should be good. Now, time zone, that's going to be all central. How do I set this time zone to central time? How do I set the time zone to central Austin, Texas time? Okay. All right, which branch do I want to use? I'm kind of surprised that it doesn't. I'm surprised it doesn't walk you through that. Anyways, which branch should I use? Uh, Number one. Yeah, it's the recommended. We'll go with the recommended. Okay, so next do I need to okay, so next what I did for the FQDN that it was asking me for was just put in a FQDN even though it doesn't match the when I do the hostname dash F, it doesn't match that. Do I need to update the hostname dash F next? Yeah, okay. Okay, let's do that. So we're gonna do so let's update it. Okay, I think if we just do hostname, yeah, we'll get just the hostname, but if we do dash F, we'll get the full hostname. So the goal would be to have these two be different. This one to be just the hostname, and this would be the hostname with the FQDN. So let's try that. All right, so we have to add another entry here. Okay, now we can do let's do host name. Ah, shit. See, we saved the whole that. No, we don't do it that way. It hallucinated. It didn't do it right. No, that's not right at all. I think you hallucinated. I don't want to change the host name. I want to change the FQDN. So I just want to configure a domain name. Domain name. I just want to configure a domain name. Sorry, there are typos, but do you know what I mean? Yeah, right. All right, so let's set the host name back to what it was. You know what? I feel like this is fine. It's not, none of this is mentioned in the guide. We're getting really far away from the guide, so let's just keep going. We're going to have the host name. The FQDN of this virtual machine is just going to be mail server with nothing else. And then the FQDN of the mail cow is going to be different. It's going to be different. All right, so there we go. So enter your fully qualified domain name. So your domain, if you have one, I don't have one. Um, so now we can start it up. Docker compose. Yep. So now pull. So now we're pulling down all the containers. So yeah, this is working. Dash D option runs mail cow in detached mode, so it continues running in the background. All right, there we go. So next command. Now that we've got all these containers pulled, we're going to start the containers. All right, so 2.5 would be verify the installation. So we're going to run docker sudo docker ps. All right, sudo docker ps would be next. You should see a list of containers associated with mail cow running. Yeah, I mean, this is a great guide, but honestly, if the idea is to have an old grandmother be able to do it, to have it be the simplest, most basic guide to follow out there, it's really not doing a good job of that. I feel like me as someone with a decade of experience in working in technology, like like I was a little bit led astray and confused a few times, and this is one of those times because like it wasn't explained like what that FQDN is for. And one of the goals I would have with this is I want people to be able to email me, at a different address. So if people aren't able to, so that I wish that were explained. Like, what makes it so that somebody can email me at my other address rather than my Gmail? And I have a feeling, as someone who's been in technology, you have to buy a domain. So like, I wish it would talk about that. It would either confirm it or deny that that is the case. I feel like that would have been probably the place to do it. But who knows? Maybe that is brought up later in the guide. So let's just keep working through, and maybe that is brought up later. All right, so step 3, access and configure MailCow. And just need to pour some more water here. All right, so firstly, my screenshots from this guide were missing the top bar. My apologies. Refer to this below to see what was cut off, and hopefully where my mouse is clicking in both the rest of the screenshots and the video will make sense. Okay, so we're going to access the web interface, open a browser, and navigate here. So damn it. I made a choice to not follow the, yeah, so it might be .local. Yeah, it's at .local. So I made a choice not to follow it exactly, which I regret that choice. I wish I had used home.arpa. Maybe there's a way to do that. Let me see. So let me talk to ChatGPT. So, so I made a choice that I regret. Let's say that. So I made a choice that I regret not to follow the guide exactly when it comes to the FQDN of the mail server. I selected .local rather than .home.arpa. As was selected in the guide. The guide said you could use something other than .home.arpa, but since I did, the links in the guide are broken. So I regret doing this. Is there any way I can change it to match the guide exactly? So you can still change it by fixing the FQDN from .local to .home.arpa. Back up the configuration. Yeah. Modify your hostname. So man, it's so hell bent on having me do that. I don't think it's right about that. No, it's not right. I think this part might be right. Let's look at this part. But now I mean, it's just a different FQDN. I know it's not a big deal. Yeah. See, the thing is, this isn't even it, right? Like we accessed it at dot local. Like I can't access it here. Yeah, I don't even know what that is, but it's not the thing. This has nothing to do with that. All right, so we'll search for it. Oh, wait, I'm editing. How do I search? How do I search? Oh, it doesn't say. Dang it. All right, so yeah, this isn't going to be a place to do it. We're not going to save it. All right, that's okay. It's not. It's fine. It's just a different one. It's just that local. It's not a big deal. All right, so now we're going to log in with the default credentials. Oh, that failed. What? Okay, well that's not good. Okay. What are the So are the default credentials no longer? Okay, take the screenshot, highlight it. Okay, and now we'll ask it. Are these no longer the default credentials in the latest version? They're not working to log in with. So hopefully it'll reference the documentation. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's looking at the release notes. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So we got to do all/admin. And maybe the guide said that. Let's see. No, the guide didn't say that. All right. Oh, it does say that. It does say that. So in the MailCow update, logins for administrator, domain administrator, and users have been separated. Administrator login, domain administrator login, users. So if you get an error, make sure you are in the admin login area. Write admin behind your IP or domain. See changelog for details. Perfect. So sometimes ChatGPT is nice because I'm just taking this, line by line, top to bottom. So I didn't even read this yet. So it's nice that it can just read it for me and tell me. It can act as someone that like already read it. All right, so we got a bunch of screenshots to follow. So 3.3 change the administrative password. So we're gonna click on so information, and he cut off the top. So system maybe. yeah, system configuration. There we go. Then I'm gonna hit edit, and then we'll probably have to give it a pretty secure password. Okay, so click on system configuration at the top, click on access administrators. Uh, let's see if we did that right. So, yeah, I think this is right. Um, yeah, this is right. Click the pencil icon, create a new strong password, click save changes. So I'll do that off camera. All right, welcome back. Sorry, and I'm gonna start. Hold on a second. So change the administrative password. So did that. So now we got some more to follow here. So next will be to add a domain, which is very difficult. See, this is where there's some room to be desired. There's something left to be desired. I wish you would tell me more about like which domains and why. So oh yeah, I think this has to be okay. So go to email configuration on the top. Okay, in the domains tab, we're going to click add a domain. Okay, in your domain name, we're going to add that there, and then add a domain. And then this is going to be the domain you chose before. So I think this has to be kept private. I don't even remember what this is. So I'm going to do this off camera as well. Yeah, let me do this off camera. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So not sure how sensitive that really was. I just remember him saying that you can leave yourself a sitting duck for an attack. Um, all right, so next would be to access calendar slash context services. So we'll go uh, back to the homepage. Uh, okay, then we're going to log in with credentials good. We're going to go apps in the top right. I'm going to do SOGO. Oops, that's not right. Where's SOGO? I don't see it. I only see webmail. Uh, do we have to restart SOGO? Is that why it's not listed there? I'll try it. All right, now does it show up? No, it doesn't. Okay, that was probably very bad to do. I regret doing that. All right. All right. Well, that didn't work. I don't have that. Oh, we can go there directly though. So yeah, let's do that. Perfect. Oh, but then it redirects me back here. Why does it do that? Let's do it in a incognito tab. Keeps okay. It redirects me back here for login this time. That's fine. So what was it again? It was admin. Who logged in. So for some reason I can't follow the guide. Uh, all right, that's a link to the source code. That's so weird. I can get there, but then it takes me away instantly. Yeah, I can't remain in the portal. Yeah, I go there and then I instantly go away. Okay, so I'm missing. Well, so let's put this in and say I'm missing the Sogo app in the menu. Okay, so the first thing we should do is check if it's running or not, which it definitely is running. Okay, so we'll go to system. I don't have system containers either. We'll go to system information. Uh, and then it's down here. So Sogo is definitely running. So it's definitely running healthy and active. To configuration mail setup. This might be it. Uh, yeah, so I've got this box checked. Direct forwarding to Sogo. Save changes. Alright, so I don't see anything wrong there. I have the direct forwarding to Sogo box checked. Alright, number 3, verify user permissions. Ensure you can check. So, email configuration mailboxes. And then edit on the mailbox. And then yeah, grant this option doesn't exist. Oh, maybe it's under custom attributes, edit mailbox, pushover, ACL permission, rate limits, rename mailbox. No, it's definitely missing. Configuration, mail setup, what mail settings? Don't have that. I don't have webmail settings. Yeah, when I click on webmail settings, when I click, oh, let's try this. No, that doesn't work. See, when I go to slash the so the problem is when I go to slash SOGO, it takes me there and I can see the login screen, and then suddenly and unexpectedly it redirects me back to the MailCow UI, and I don't have a chance to log in. Yeah, automatic redirection. Authenticate. So can I clear my cookies? Okay. Yeah, I mean I did that. It still does that. Check your reverse proxy configuration. What? Okay. It doesn't exist. All right. Well, maybe it's in the. Maybe it's not in the virtual machine. Well, it's not there either. Okay. Well, I don't know where that is. Maybe I have this. Yeah, maybe I have this. Nano mailcow.com. Permission denied. That's a good sign. There you go. So now I have it. Yeah, I remember that file. So skip sogo equals n. Yeah, so if that's set to yes, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, so we'll disable sogo integration, and therefore, yeah, we don't want to do that. So it should be set to n, which it is. Then we want to allow admin email. Oh, okay. There we go. We can set this to yes. That should work. Studio, of course. Okay, and then I need to oh shoot, I need to change my host name. Yeah, I'm causing redirection loops because I royally effed up my FQDN settings. Permission denied even though I had sudo. Okay, let's get back into the mailcow.conf. Oh, permission denied. Sudo. All right. Yeah, no, I have that right. Okay, exit. Maybe I need to reset the. Yeah, so it's set to .local, which is bad. Oh, now it can't even do anything. I wonder if I refresh it, it goes down. Yeah, I completely screwed it up. All right, well, this part is hard. Oh, I feel like this is why. Oh, I had to change this to yes. Allow admin email login. Why did it refuse to connect? Man, yeah, this is completely screwed up. I'm gonna have to go back and do all of this again. Because it's not clear, like, what domain you should, like, your domain, like, how do I pick out a domain? Like, and if it's like you have to get the domain that you're paying for, well, now it's not a beginner guide anymore. You think a beginner is going to know how to buy a domain? All right, so this is my first major frustration with this guide. But I think I'm going to end the video here, and we'll come back and figure this out later. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.